Ted Lasso Season 3, Episode 9. Now out for you guys to go and check out. I've just watched them and tell you guys my thoughts. Smash yours down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's talk about the newest episode of Ted Lasso right now. Okay, so Episode 9 has now come and gone for Ted Lasso Season 3. Now, last week's episode, I really enjoyed. This week's episode was just as emotional and fantastic when it came to certain character arcs and moments throughout this whole entire episode. There is a lot to unpack here, so let's get started, and we're going to start off right where we should. Obviously, we know Richmond's on a massive win streak. West Ham are now top of the table. I mean, they're really in a relegation battle right now in real life, but hey, it is what it is. So they're on top. We get a bit of gameplay and stuff like that. And obviously, we have Nate Jade actually turns up at Nate's office at West Ham to bring him lunch. And, you know, it's this beautiful moment with Nate and Jade, and it's wholesome. And then, obviously, he's, you know, the man, Rupert, comes in and, oh, what's going on here? And sees Jade there. And he's just being a complete condescending ass, as he always is. The guy's just an absolute wank. Like, I gotta give props to the actor because he's absolutely superb at playing Rupert. But the character as Rupert himself is just so arrogant up himself and just classless. He's just absolutely, like, mental, this guy. And you can just see it already. Just the sheer amount of just assholeness he has about him. Because later on, before the game, he invites Nate to a guy's night only. And as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, something's not right here. Rupert's up to something. And then later on in the episode, we actually see Rupert there with two girls at the bar as Nate comes in and he introduced them. And basically the whole idea is Rupert's afraid that Nate having Jade there is like Nate having like the star that is guiding him down the right path, where once you take Jade out of the equation, Rupert then can project his whole personality onto Nate and bend Nate's will to his and make him do what he wants. So by trying to get him to come to this guy's night and to hang out with these girls and, you know, maybe kiss, sleep and that, and then Gag gets to Jade, they break up. Now Nate's back to being, you know, the dark side version of Nate. But I was rooting and I was really hoping for that Nate wouldn't take the bait. That actually rhymes, Nate wouldn't take the bait. But anyway, and he didn't. I love that moment where he just realizes, like, no. And then he says to Rupert, no, I'm sorry, I've got to go and do something else. And you just see, and then Rupert doesn't even say anything back to him, just looks at him and then walks off. So you know Rupert's pissed off. Nate then goes and sees Jade, and there's this beautiful moment when she opens the door and Nate just hugs her. Because Nate's finally found something in his life that he feels like it's worth something to save. Like, it's such a beautiful moment for that character. And it sets this redemption arc of Nate's on the right path. Like, how can you hate this guy? Yes, he was a bit of an ass at the end of season 2. But now, he's fighting against Rupert here. And I'm loving Nate at this point in this season. I'm loving this character arc and, like, just how he's still Nate on the inside. It's beautiful. It really is. He's written so well. One of the best written characters in Ted Lasso. He's just absolutely phenomenal. So the other stuff going on with Richmond is the captain actually having a problem with Colin at this point. And I knew it wasn't going to be because he's gay. The whole thing is he obviously isn't happy with Colin because Colin lied to him. Not just for like a month or two, but for years. And I love that moment when he comes to the realization at the end of the episode after getting that red card because one of the actual fans yells out the F word to them. And that obviously ticks the captain off. It ticks him completely off. And he's run up there and he starts abusing this fan, grabs him and everything, like, gets sent off. And then that sparks Colin coming out to the team. And Ted gives this beautiful speech. Like, very, very beautiful. I love this moment because it's telling us that, like, we need to just accept certain people for who they are. And, you know, be there for them people. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight. Like, that's not the thing that you need to worry about. Like, there's people out there that are having problems. And Roy also makes note of that in the press conference as well, when he does the press conference, and he talks about the story about making the joke about someone's kid, unborn kid, and then they actually lost that baby. Roy had no idea about it and made this silly, stupid joke that had consequences and ticked off this person because they lost a baby. And it's this beautiful moment of this point of, we don't know what's going on in everyone's lives. So we shouldn't just, like, you know, make these jokes, make these things about certain things to certain people that we don't know what's going on. Now, I'm not talking about like comedians and stuff like that. That's a whole different another story. Like, you go into a comedic show, you know what you expect. So you're expecting to get that. But like general life, you just don't know. So it's like, get to know that person beforehand. Like, there's certain jokes you can make with your friends because you know that. But then other people, it's like, don't tread over that line. And I love that message that Roy is sending out there, and especially about football players. Like, just because you buy a ticket doesn't give you the right to go to the game and throw out any sort of abuse to a player. Because at the end of the day, they are just humans like us. So that's a really, really cool message that they're sending there. Ted's speech was absolutely incredible. The whole team rallied around, and then Colin came out of his shell and played an absolute blinder, got the win for them. And then that moment at the end where the captain actually comes to Colin's house and says to him, like, I'm hurt because you lied to me and because you felt like you couldn't come to me and talk to me about it. And I love that. And that's what I thought. I thought it was he's angry because he was lied to and he felt like he couldn't come to him and, like, you know, talk to him about it, and he thought he wouldn't support him. And that's a beautiful moment for the captain and his character arc as well. And it was absolutely fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed it. And this whole entire episode, it was great. It was emotional as well. Obviously, we know Keely's now broken up. We know Rebecca, man. Let's talk about Rebecca for a second. I love when Rebecca just becomes the man and just goes, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck Roy. I'm over this crap that he's doing. Pulls Roy in, goes down to the locker room and says, Roy, get your fucking ass up to my office now. And like full calls him like Arias and everything like that. And then he comes up to the office and Rebecca just lets loose on him. And just literally peels back all the layers to Roy. And exposes Roy's actual inner self. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I love it when Rebecca does that. She's just fantastic when she's like that. And it's good. Because we know that Rebecca's had her problem. But seeing her help other people with their problems is just absolutely fantastic. So I love that moment. I love Roy coming back around. It's setting up the stage for these final few episodes beautifully, and I cannot wait. And I know the moment when Nate and Ted come together, and Nate and Ted make up, and that it's just going to be Waterfall Central. I'm telling you that now. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down there. Smash that like button. Click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.